from potential to power, unlocking your leadership legacy. Have you ever felt like an outsider in your own life? That moment when you're sitting at the table, but somehow not really at the table, when your voice seems to echo in an empty room despite the crowd around you. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Dr. Adebola Ajao, a force of nature who has redefined what leadership looks like in public health. Immigrating to the United States at just 17 years old, Dr. Ajao didn't just adapt to a new country. She transformed herself into a powerhouse who now shapes global health policy while lifting countless other women along the way. Her journey from potential to power isn't just inspiring, it's a masterclass in how women, particularly those from minority backgrounds, can harness their unique experiences as catalysts for extraordinary leadership. What struck me most about Dr. Ajao wasn't just her impressive credentials or the fact that she navigates rooms where people who look like her are often absent. It was how she's systematically dismantling barriers for others while building bridges of opportunity that span continents. Her work has directly impacted thousands of women across multiple countries, creating pathways where previously there were only walls. Because here's the uncomfortable truth that Dr. Ajao addresses head on: excellence isn't always enough, talent isn't always enough, hard work isn't always enough. Not when systems weren't designed with you in mind. But what Dr. Ajao's journey teaches us is that your background, the very things that make you different, can become your greatest source of strength. The question isn't whether you belong at the table. The question is, what unique perspective will you bring when you get there? And how will you transform that table for those coming after you? So, when Dr. Ajao speaks about leadership, she doesn't frame it as some lofty, unattainable ideal reserved for those with certain titles or pedigrees. She breaks it down into actionable principles that transform ordinary careers into extraordinary legacies. These principles form what she calls the pathway from potential to power. The first principle: think bigger than your circumstances. When Dr. Ajao arrived in America as a teenager, she didn't just see immediate obstacles, she envisioned possibilities beyond them. This mindset isn't about naive optimism, it's about strategic vision. In April 2025, this principle was vividly demonstrated when Dr. Ajao hosted the Empowering Initiative's Women's Financial Seminar. Picture this: a room filled with brilliant Black professionals and entrepreneurs who had been systematically excluded from traditional financial education tailored to their specific needs. Rather than accepting this gap, Dr. Ajao created something revolutionary. She curated workshops addressing everything from practical budgeting to investment strategies specifically designed for African markets. The energy in that room was electric. Women who had previously felt intimidated by financial systems left with shoulders back and heads high, armed with both knowledge and connections. One participant, a brilliant entrepreneur with a groundbreaking idea but limited access to capital, connected with investors who recognized her potential. That single connection, made possible by Dr. Ajao's vision, transformed not just one woman's trajectory, but created ripple effects throughout her community. Today, that entrepreneur employs 15 other women and serves as a mentor herself. This leads us to Dr. Ajao's second principle: conquer your fears by confronting them directly. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being the only one who looks like you in the room. These fears are real, but they don't have to be paralyzing. Dr. Ajao doesn't pretend these fears don't exist. Instead, she acknowledges them, then systematically dismantles their power. The fear doesn't go away, she explains. You just learn to make decisions despite it. This principle was powerfully illustrated when Dr. Ajao delivered the keynote address in the Samega Change Gala supporting women of color in STEM fields. Standing before an audience of brilliant minds who rarely see themselves represented in leadership, she shared her experience navigating male dominated scientific environments while balancing motherhood. It wasn't just what she said that mattered, it was that she said it at all. By speaking openly about challenges rarely acknowledged on such platforms, she created space for authentic connection. The impact was immediate and measurable. Attendees described feeling truly seen for perhaps the first time in their professional lives. One young scientist approached Dr. Ajao afterward with tears in her eyes. I was ready to quit, she confessed. I thought I was the only one struggling with these exact issues. Today, that scientist not only remains in her field, but leads a research team developing technologies that will save countless lives. The gala set attendance records, but more importantly, it established a model that similar organizations across multiple states have since adopted. This is how transformation happens, not just through individual achievement, but through creating systems that elevate others. The third principle Dr. Ajao emphasizes is seeking knowledge continuously. In a world where information is abundant but wisdom is rare, deliberate learning becomes a competitive advantage. Dr. Ajao didn't just accumulate degrees, though she has those too. She cultivated knowledge ecosystems, understanding that different perspectives enrich our understanding. This approach isn't about collecting certificates, it's about developing the intellectual agility to navigate complex challenges. Her fourth principle might be the most crucial. Find mentors who can guide you and become a mentor who can guide others. Dr. Ajao speaks candidly about the challenges of finding mentors who shared her lived experience as an immigrant woman in science. Rather than becoming discouraged, she became determined to be that mentor for others. This commitment to mentorship isn't passive, it's strategic and intentional. Through empowering initiatives, Dr. Ajao allocates 10% of her book profits annually as seed funding for female entrepreneurs in Nigeria. These aren't just financial transactions. Recipients also receive virtual mentoring sessions led by Dr. Ajao herself or members of her international advisory board. The results speak volumes. Dozens of businesses are now thriving independently, from textile cooperatives producing eco friendly school uniforms to digital marketing agencies serving clients worldwide. These ventures don't just create profits, they create employment opportunities for other women, demonstrating how targeted investments coupled with knowledge transfer yield exponential returns. I'm particularly moved by the story of a young woman from a rural village who received one of these grants. With just a small investment and regular mentoring calls, she built a business that now provides sustainable income for 17 families in her community. When asked what made the difference, she didn't mention the money first. It was knowing that someone like Dr. Ajao believed in me, she said, that changed how I saw myself. Dr. Ajao's fifth principle ties everything together: follow through relentlessly. Vision without execution is merely a dream. Dr. Ajao emphasizes that consistency, showing up day after day, especially when motivation wanes, is what transforms potential into power. This principle is evident in how she structures her initiatives. They aren't one time events, but ongoing commitments with measurable outcomes. The seed funding program doesn't just distribute grants, it tracks progress through annual summit reports and testimonials. The mentorship initiatives don't just make introductions, they monitor relationships and measure impact. What makes Dr. Ajao's approach so effective is that these principles aren't applied in isolation. They work together as an integrated system for transformation, personal and collective. But there's something else that distinguishes her leadership philosophy: the recognition that success isn't achieved alone. Throughout our interview, Dr. Ajao emphasized the importance of building supportive networks where women uplift each other rather than compete. This isn't just feel good advice, it's practical strategy. When resources seem limited, the instinct might be to guard your position. But Dr. Ajao demonstrates that an abundance mindset, the belief that there's enough success for everyone, actually creates more opportunities, not fewer. At the Women's Financial Seminar, participants didn't just receive information from experts, they formed peer to peer mentorship circles where knowledge flowed in multiple directions. The result wasn't just individual growth, but collective advancement. This approach challenges the myth of the self made success story. No one succeeds entirely on their own. We all stand on shoulders. We all benefit from doors opened by others. The question is, once you walk through that door, will you close it behind you or hold it open for others? Dr. Ajao's life work answers that question definitively. She doesn't just hold doors open, she builds new entrances where none existed before. What does this mean for you? It means your journey, with all its unique challenges and perspectives, isn't something to overcome or hide. It's your greatest asset. It means success isn't just about what you achieve, but about who you bring along with you. It means leadership isn't reserved for those with certain titles or backgrounds. It's available to anyone willing to transform their potential into power and use that power purposefully. So here is my challenge to you: look around your life right now. Where are you sitting at tables where others like you are absent? That's not just your burden, it's your opportunity. Your unique perspective isn't just valuable, it's essential. This week, not someday, not eventually, but this week, identify one area where you feel stuck professionally or personally. Then either seek out a mentor or offer yourself as one within your network. The exchange will transform you both. Choose one principle we've discussed today, whether it's thinking bigger, conquering fears, seeking knowledge, finding mentors, or following through, and apply it intentionally over the next month. Document what changes when you do. The path from potential to power isn't a straight line. It's rarely smooth. But as Dr. Adebola Ajao demonstrates through her remarkable journey and the lives she's transformed, it's a path worth taking. Because when you step into your power, when you embrace your unique journey and build communities that elevate others, you don't just change your own trajectory, you create ripples that transform families, communities, and eventually the world. Your potential isn't just about what you might become someday, it's about the power you already possess right now, waiting to be unleashed. And the world cannot afford for you to wait any longer to claim it.